Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love, and I believe that it is love that truly draws people, and so I thought we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
In Harbour Island, North Peninsula, I'm Charles Fisher. This is ZNS.
Coming up at the Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition, with just hours before the start of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season, officials sending an urgent appeal to residents. Plus, Labor Day week in full motion, but behind the celebration, the real battle is over workers and wages. Tonight, the concerns of labor officials ahead of Labor Day. In sports, new stars emerge on the national soccer stage. The Bahamas tonight, the weekend edition starts now. Happy Sunday. Good evening. I'm Desmond Saunders, and welcome to the broadcast. Well, in just hours, the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season officially begins. And while forecasters are projecting a below normal season, they're warning that the numbers do not tell the full story when it comes to potential impact. The season runs from June 1st to November 30th, and the latest outlook calls for between 8 and 14 named storms. Of those, 3 to 6 are expected to develop into hurricanes, including 1 to 3 that could become major storms. By comparison, a typical Atlantic hurricane season produces about 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major systems, making this year's forecast below average on paper. But meteorologists are quick to stress that a quieter season does not mean a safe one. Even a single storm making landfall can bring widespread damage, disruption, and loss of life. As a result, officials are urging residents not to become complacent. They're encouraging households across the Bahamas and the region to use the early start of the season to review and finalize their hurricane preparedness plans. That includes checking emergency supplies, reviewing evacuation routes, securing property, and making sure family communication plans are in place before any storm develops. Officials say preparation now can make the difference later when conditions can change quickly and without warning. Well, the capital poised to become the hub of regional development talks this week as leaders from across the Caribbean gather for the 56th annual meeting of the Caribbean Development Bank. The forum gets underway at the Bahama Convention Center tomorrow, bringing together finance ministers, policymakers, development partners, business leaders, and youth representatives from across the region. Discussions will focus on some of the region's most pressing challenges, including climate resilience, energy security, economic growth, debt sustainability, and private sector development. Caribbean Development Bank President Daniel Bess says the annual gathering provides a unique opportunity for the bank's shareholders to help shape its direction.
This is a convening of the governors of the bank. Once a year, our governors come together. These are the owners of the bank, if you will, the shareholders of the bank. We get the opportunity to hear from them how they think the bank is going, some of the important areas that we perhaps need to focus on, the direction of travel that we're on. And we get to engage in quite a fulsome and rich discourse with our owners, the shareholders of the bank. But outside of that, some of the major agenda items, we have introduced quite a few new things this year. We get to present what we're doing in the private sector of the region, but also we bring in private sector actors from across the region, especially here in the Bahamas, to speak about how the private sector may support the development agenda for the region.
Now, the conversation will extend far beyond the boardroom. Beth says this year's agenda places a strong emphasis on engaging the private sector and exploring how businesses can help drive regional development.
We also have at this meeting for the first time something which we've termed EdgeX, Analytics Unlocked. And what that is that we are presenting some of the analysis that we have done on some thorny issues across the Caribbean. The two sessions, the two EdgeX sessions, will focus on some of the global conflicts, some of the global challenges, and how they affect the Caribbean. And next one, and I'm sure Mrs. Saunders, you could relate to this one. The second one is on the traffic situation across the Caribbean and the impact it's having on our economy. So these are Caribbean situations, Caribbean challenges, Caribbean analysis, and Caribbean solutions being put forward.
Well, with the new government mandate in place and Labor Day fast approaching, trade union leaders are looking beyond the celebrations, focusing on the challenges facing workers and the partnerships needed to drive meaningful change. That message took center stage during a Labor Day church service at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries this morning, where union leaders, members, and supporters gathered to reflect on the state of labor relations in the country and the work still ahead. The service officially marked the start of Labor Day week activities leading up to Friday's annual parade. Mauritian Burrows reports.
The service officially kicked off Labor Day week activities, bringing together union leaders, members, and supporters ahead of Friday's annual Labor Day parade. But beyond the celebrations, labor leaders say their focus remains on addressing issues affecting workers and strengthening relationships with government stakeholders. And with the distribution of new positions following the May 12th election, union leaders remain hopeful for the future. With newly appointed Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable Chester Cooper vowing to use his background as an educator to strengthen the educational system within the country, President of the Bahamas Education Managerial Union, Stephen McPhee, says his team remains committed to working with the minister, ensuring all necessary needs are met.
We are now going to have to engage a new Minister of Education, and we're hoping that this Minister of Education is going to be just as open and accessible as the former Minister of Education, and will be willing to work along with us, the trade union, with some of the things that we've already had on the table that we've been improving, and we're open and adaptable to engage him in the same way, him and his team, in the same way with hearing what it is his plan is for our members.
While the education sector has a new minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville was reappointed as Minister of Health and Wellness, a move that raised concern, especially among members of the nursing profession.
A lot of our nurses, they were a little bit, they voiced their disappointment about it. But like I said, that was not our choice, and we have to work with what we have. And I believe just hearing the message today and the message talking about being adaptive, we have to adapt to whatever we have. So if that's what we have, and I don't believe that Dr. Darville mean to, I think he may have good intentions. I just think he needs help to carry out the things that he needs to do. So I believe with the Minister of State there to help, I believe it may be more or less overwhelming for him. And we're always here. I'm always here to work with him.
President of the Trade Union Congress, Obi Ferguson KC, says there are several issues he hopes will be addressed through continued dialogue and cooperation, starting with the current state of labor relations within the country.
It's not where it should be. That's quite clear. The labor movement is not, the labor environment is not. I mean, look at the voting. We had a voting election. You saw how many people didn't vote? I mean, that says something. You ain't got to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out. So something is wrong. What are we doing? We have to examine it, not to accuse anybody in particular, but those who want to do it, let's do it together. That's what we have to do. You know, one man will go fix that, because that's been going on now for a long time.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Mauritian Burrows.
Switching gears tonight, news from the crime beat. A joint operation between the Anti-Gang and Firearms Investigation Task Force on Grand Bahama led to the seizure of 129 live rounds of ammunition at the Freeport Harbor Saturday. After 1:30 p.m., a Bahamas Customs K-9 unit conducting a vehicle inspection gave a positive indication to a red Honda Accord coupe. After searching the vehicle, officers discovered 2 clear plastic-wrapped packages containing ammunition that were collected for evidence. Investigations are ongoing. Well, coming up, the new education minister hitting the ground running, making his first official school tour in Exuma. That and more when we come back.
Can I get 3 flavors in one pizza?
In here, at Little Caesars.
Ahoy! Then I'll take it for a great price. It's not madness, it's Little Caesars.
Pizza.
3 flavors, 1 happy you for just $11 VAT inclusive. Now available at all 5 of our locations. Little Caesars Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, East Street Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and 1 East Plaza. It's not madness, it's Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Much for staying with us. Newly appointed Education Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is wasting no time getting to know his new portfolio. Mr. Cooper completed the week by making his first official school visit as minister to his native Exuma, the island Mr. Cooper also happens to represent. There, Mr. Cooper stopped by several schools where he talked with administrators, teachers, as well as students. The education minister appears anxious to get to know his new ministry and its stakeholders.
I met yesterday with Belinda Wilson, the president of the BUT. I'm going to be meeting with Becca Wu and the other unions as well. We had a very engaging, productive conversation. Ultimately, we want the same things. We want progress for our children. We want a productive education sector. I want an ecosystem that's serving the needs of the Bahamian people. So I'm looking forward to my continued education in the Ministry of Education so that I can be even more effective as a policymaker.
A $100 million infrastructure push under the spotlight in Exuma this weekend as representatives from the Africa Export-Import Bank toured road works being carried out by the Bahamas Striping Group of companies, getting a first-hand look at how their investment is transforming communities across the country. Wes Kellogg-Forbes has more tonight.
Representatives from the Africa Export-Import Bank, better known as Afrexim Bank, were on the island of Exuma this weekend to see firsthand how a $100 million loan to the Bahamas Striping Group of companies is being utilized. The financing is supporting the rehabilitation and construction of more than 200 miles of critical road infrastructure throughout the Bahamas, including projects in New Providence, Eleuthera, and Exuma. Founder Otario Mitchell says the visit was an opportunity for them to witness the progress.
So we are just here giving them a tour. We think that it's important for them to see the full operation in its entirety and how the funds was actually utilized that we received from them. So far they're happy with what they're seeing, and we are actually doing paving as well on the island. This is the first paving day after we have restarted back here in Exuma, so the residents are excited as well. We restarted the project again, and the goals, what they are seeing is actually impressive. They heard about it a lot, they see it in reports, but actually be on the ground and seeing it firsthand was very impressive from their words.
The company is now in the final stages of its first contract on the island, with approximately 4 miles left to pave. Bahamas Striping General Manager Melanie Roach says several issues arose, including drainage concerns that could not be completed during the initial phase that will now be addressed under the second contract. The next phase is expected to extend road improvements further east and will include a number of additional infrastructure upgrades over the next 4 years.
The second phase of the contract, in addition to the roads, we have a lot of seawalls, we have a lot of sidewalks, and then you saw the congestion in Georgetown as we came through just now. We have to do a redesign of the traffic arrangement in Georgetown and really try to make improvements in that. And then we have to go across the ferry bridge to Little Exuma and finish all of the roads in Little Exuma.
Rhodes says before these plans move forward, however, public input will factor in.
We have to get the views of the stakeholders. So we're planning to have a town meeting on June 18th where everybody in Exuma would be able to come and, give their input as to what they would like to see happen to improve traffic flow and congestion, and not just traffic, pedestrian, because we want to make it safe for residents and visitors. And Georgetown Primary School is in the middle of town.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
The International Civil Aviation Organization convened its 3-day Civil Aviation Legal Advisors Forum in the Bahamas at the Bahama Convention Center recently. The event that closed over the weekend brought together industry stakeholders to discuss matters impacting the industry. ICAO Secretary General Juan Carlos Salazar detailed some of the topics addressed.
We discussed matters that went from the use of artificial intelligence and the increasing use of those technologies in civil aviation, to the use of unmanned aerial systems or advanced air mobility. But at the same time, we discussed matters related to passenger rights, to enforceability, and to complex legal matters arising out of international air law instruments.
Minister of Energy, Utilities, and Aviation, the Honorable JoBeth Colby Davis, highlighted regulatory issues the nation is hoping to tackle.
We've already started addressing some of the safety concerns, making sure that we have all of our protocols in place for when we are having flights land in our country, and make sure we have the safety protocols in place. And I would understand a little bit of that because under my previous portfolio of transport, I worked closely with the team at Aviation to make sure that we are addressing the concerns and the standards placed by ICAO, and make sure that our airlifts are following those protocols so that we can invite more persons to land in our country. And so I think we're heading well on our way to continue improving that sector.
85 young Bahamians answering the call to national service after graduating from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Rangers program. The graduates earned their place through months of rigorous training, including a 12-mile overnight hike, man overboard rescue exercises, drill competitions, and leadership development. Along the way, they learned the values of discipline, teamwork, character, and service to country. Royal Bahamas Defense Force officials say the program continues to shape young people into responsible citizens and future leaders from the Bahamas. Well, hats off. Sports is up next.
There's something extraordinary happening in the Bahamas right now. Young minds with bold ideas and the courage to build something that has never existed before. And it's all happening right here at the Student Innovation Pitch Competition.
The Student Innovation Pitch Competition is an opportunity unlike any other. It challenges students to take an idea or real problem facing our communities and to build a solution. Not someday, now.
Look around us. Industrial product design, biotechnology, agricultural innovation. These are not just subjects. They're solutions to real Bahamian challenges. Food insecurity, healthcare access, economic independence. This is the generation that changes that story.
For too long, we've relied on solutions built elsewhere for problems we understand better than anyone. When Bahamians develop for Bahamians, that's when real change happens. That's what this competition is about.
This competition is open to every student. Bimini, Nassau, Exuma, San Salvador, every corner of the archipelago. If you have a bright idea that can move the Bahamas forward, we want to hear it from you.
Imagine an ecosystem where our brightest young minds are not just studying innovation, they are living it together right now.
When I started this program, I didn't see myself as an innovator. I just had questions and problems that I wanted to fix. Learning industrial product design, learning how to take an idea from a sketch to a real prototype. That changed how I see everything. Competitions like this tell young people like me, your ideas matter. You matter.
So, what are you waiting for? Go to tdcbahamas.com. Apply. Show the Bahamas what you've got.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works.
Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Good afternoon and welcome to ZNS Weekend Sports. I'm Win Wilson, and although the national champions have concluded and the stars were chosen, we can't forget to mention some hidden gems of the competition that were able to travel from the Family Islands to participate in the national competition this year. We had senior boys team from North Eleuthera and BMES from Grand Bahama. And for much of the players, it was their first time coming to Nassau and even leaving their islands at all. Here's a few words from the North Eleuthera's head coach, Theodore Hudson.
Yeah. It's a new experience first because so playing here is different. So the field, so everything is different here. But it's a new experience, but it's a good experience. So we hope that the National Soccer Association continue improving this event, this sport event. But so I hope that next year they take into account the calendar of the national exams because the majority of my boys have exams tomorrow and some of them had the exam today. And it's very rough for us of moving to the school, so wake up early in the morning. So majority of them are tired here now because they wake up so early to go to the school and then come back to the hotel. So just to rest a little bit. Some of them take another BICs in the afternoon. It's just rough. So please, next year, I hope that they take into account the calendar of the final exams and they accommodate the championship in a date that we can play. We can focus only in the play.
Although they may not have made it as far as they wished, they still came to perform, earning 4th place in the Nationals, a feat they should take pride in. Looking back at our senior girls from Grand Bahama, they also would fall short, finishing 4th in the Nationals. But there was one player in particular leading the charge for Freeport, and that would be senior Kaylee Murray, leaving everything on the field for a final high school game. Let's hear a few words from the young star.
This experience is really good. We definitely worked to come out at home and to get a chance to play in the tournament for the 4th time now, and it being my last year. I certainly hope to make it a memorable one. I look forward to being with my team of my school and once again playing here on this field that I've been playing on since I was probably 11. So it's kind of like, it's sentimental.
As we approach the end, I regret to inform you all that we lost a man of great value to the sports community of the Bahamas. Former Bahamas Basketball Federation President David Morley. Once again, I'm Will Wilson, ZNS Sports.
First official visit to an educational institution since assuming the portfolio, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, met with University of the Bahamas leaders to discuss the institution's strategic future and strengthen government collaboration.
I believe collectively, with the support of me as Minister, the support of the government, support of yourselves, I believe we can truly achieve the vision that you've set and the contributions that you have put in. Hopefully we can see them all come to fruition in a manner that you desire.
UB President Dr. Robert Blaine welcomed the meeting with ministry officials and praised the Board of Trustees for their work.
Having an alumnus as the minister is one of the best things that we could possibly ask for, and we're grateful. I'm grateful for that. I want to join the chair in saying that I have an incredible team. These are the people that do the real work. They do the heavy lifting here, and they make opportunities for our students that are just beyond imagination.
Chairperson of the board, Allison Maynard Gibson, expressed her gratitude to DPM Cooper for the timely visit and outlined the university's key priorities.
The board's number one priority is international and national accreditation. We already happily have become a candidate for SAC-COC accreditation. We expect by the end of this year to finish our compliance requirements.
John Lee McIntosh for Air Talk.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Long Island, we've helped 77 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $1.9 million in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Long Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: fishing, transportation, and agriculture. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy, starting with yours. SBDC, Bahamas.
In today's world, a community cannot plan enough for a potential disaster, especially a hurricane. I'm Mario Neri, inviting you for a familiar walk. It's our 2026 Hurricane Seasonal Disaster Preparedness Program. Our special guest represents the Bahamas Red Cross, the Disaster Risk Management Authority, J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, and the Department of Meteorology. Join us because preparation through education is less costly than learning through tragedy.
With our adoption by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We figured that we could use the First Bahamas branch of Toastmasters Club 1600, an all-male club that specializes and focuses on developing young men for leadership through communication.
This program has grown and has impacted our school in such a positive way that I don't think we'll ever have them leave us.
Too often, instead of us looking within, we look outside for someone to blame. Go take a look in the mirror. Instead of trying to identify what the problems are, let's try and figure out how we become a part of the solution.
We are teaching these children how to dream beyond their community.
Crime-free looks like me.
Do your part. Join the movement to a safer Bahamas.
Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us with a check on tonight's forecast. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. In just less than 5 hours, the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season will open, and it's calling for slightly below average this season with some 8 to 14 named storms, 3 to 6 hurricanes, and 1 to 3 could become a major hurricane. And the probability is looking like this: 10% chance that there will be an above average season, near normal just around 35%, and below normal we're looking at 55%. But despite the numbers, one should prepare for this hurricane season as though it's going to be an active season, because all it takes is one landfall hurricane to make it a bad season. And outside of our studios, we are looking at partly cloudy skies, temperature around 89 degrees, relative humidity somewhat on the dry side at 54%, northwest winds at 3 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,016.3 millibars, that is 30.01 inches. And your temperatures around the islands: Marshall, Babico 83, Greentool Key 88 degrees, Freeport, Grand Bahama 88, the Berry Islands 89, Allenstown, Bimini 83, 87 in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera 88, Otterstown, Cat Island 87, Black Point, Exuma 86, also Camp Space, St. Andros at 86 degrees, Fresh Creek in Central Andros at 83. Georgetown, Exuma, Rum Key, and San Salvador, some 87s there, a little warmer still in Ragged Island, Cloudstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island at 88 degrees, Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Acklands 90, Matchy Town, Inagua, 84 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also reporting 84 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight in the northwest and central islands: light and variable winds with flat seas. Your high tide will take place at 8:56 tonight. And then for the southeastern Bahamas, a more zonal flow. That is winds out of the east at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And then Monday in the northwestern islands, the winds become southwest at 10 to 15 knots. But by sunset, those winds are going to swing out of the northwest behind a weak front boundary, which will also usher in some clouds and some showers as well. The sea conditions, 2 to 4 feet over the ocean, high tide 9:11 in the morning, with a low tide at 3:09 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands on Monday, those light and variable winds with flat seas once again, so beautiful boating conditions for the central and southeastern islands. Satellite pictures are showing a ribbon of clouds just to the north of us, and that's one of these backdoor fronts that's going to push into the northwest Bahamas later on tomorrow, increasing our cloud cover and shower activity, even some isolated thunderstorms in the mix as well. Forecast for the night, though, partly cloudy, warm, and somewhat humid. Low temperature, 78 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be a couple of morning showers, otherwise a rather cloudy day, with a high temperature getting up to 87 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, wet for the first half of the week, with isolated showers and thunderstorms right into Tuesday, becoming a little bit more isolated on Wednesday. But then come Thursday, we see some more gray skies, and yes, another front boundary will work its way through the northwest Bahamas, and that will increase our shower activity as we get close to the weekend. Temperature-wise, we're going to keep you in the upper 80s for the greater part, except for on Thursday. We're going to be in the mid-80 range there. Nighttime temperatures mid to upper 70s, so some rather muggy nights are shaping up. So perhaps you might have to use those air conditioners to keep yourself comfortable. Desmond.
Thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.